All right, Bill, you're not an addict. Hey, old ginger balls. I'm a big fan of the podcast and looking forward to your next special and the new season of F is for Family. Keep up the great work. Thank you. I've been listening to the podcast for the last couple of weeks, and I've heard you going back and forth about abstaining from booze and most recently about AA. Yeah, I'm sorry that I said a lot of bad things about AA. If it fucking works for you, it works for you. It's just fun to make fun of that shit. You know what's funny? I saw the other day in a strip mall, there was, all these different stores. One of the stores there, it said Alcoholics Anonymous. You know what I mean? It's kind of putting it out there, isn't it? It's bad enough these poor people had to sneak into porno stores and that type of shit back when they were drinking. Now you're going to do that to them? Shouldn't it say Bill W's? Well, I guess if you didn't have that sign up, a bunch of cunts like me might be walking in like, what are you guys selling? And you guys would be like, hope. Smoke-filled room with donuts. I've been working in addiction. I'm back to the letter here. I have been working in the addiction field for over a decade. Teach an addiction course at a college and work at one of the most highly respected addiction programs up here in Canada. Oh, dude, you had it all. You had me until you said Canada. Canada doesn't count. Dude, you live in Canada. For me to be considered an alcoholic in Canada, I have to drink like fucking 2 cases of Molson. You guys are animals up there. Half you guys don't know you're alcoholics. You just think you're keeping warm. All right, well, let me not judge this guy. Now that I've mentioned my credentials, while at the same time sounding like a pompous cunt. All right, I love this guy. He called himself out on it. I can tell you that you are not an addict. Woo! It's like you are not the father. You are not an addict. From everything you have mentioned on the podcast, and I am a long-time listener. So when you say we listened the last couple of weeks, I guess you dip in and dip out, right? All right, the word addiction is thrown around a lot. So is the word hero. It's thrown around a lot and typically refers to any behavior that is out of our control. To put it as simply as possible, people will often say things like they're addicted to things like TV, shopping, sex, etc. People will also use the word to explain withdrawal symptoms of a substance or behavior, i.e., I must be addicted to coffee because I get headaches in the morning if I don't get a cup. However, experiencing enjoyment or withdrawal symptoms does not mean that someone has an addiction. Can we just kind of stop here and say this is one of the best written fucking letters in a while? I apologize that my level of intellect is reading it, but I think you guys can hear that this person seems to know what he's talking about. Or she. Or it. Or her, who used to be him. Did I cover everything? However, in the addiction field, there is a way to tell if someone has an addiction. We call them the 4 C's of addiction. Cash, cunts, cauliflower, and I don't know, I ran up, and the Chargers, LA Chargers. Okay, if you have persistent cravings for drugs, alcohol, if you have lost control over how much and how frequently you use, if you continue to use despite consequences, i.e. legal issues, job loss, children taken away, and if you feel a compulsion to use, i.e. always feeling like you need a drug or alcohol, there's a bunch of weed smokers going, alcohol is a drug, then you can begin to think you have an addiction. Knowing what I know about from you on the podcast, I'm not going to pretend to know you personally. I have never heard you mention any significant consequences around booze other than your DUI when you were young. And you have control of booze since you can have a full bar in the house and not drink it and abstain for long periods at a time from booze. The bar in the home also means you don't have a compulsion to drink. People that struggle with significant alcoholism cannot have booze just sitting around their place without drinking it. It's fucking funny to me. I don't know why. Like, they're just sitting there seeing at the corner of their eye and they're like sweating. It's fucking looking at me, man. You like that black dude in Predator shaving your head? I see you over there in that bar. I don't believe you have an addiction and you don't need to go to AA. For me, He wrote it all in capitals. You're just some cunt that likes to booze, whose job and lifestyle allows for it. Dude, you're going to talk me into drinking tonight. If you ever feel like you do need some serious help, go see a professional instead of some sorry sap bleeding his heart out in a church basement in front of a group of strangers. Having said that, I know AA does work for some people, and if you're into that, knock yourself out. You're just like me. You had to shit on it a little bit. Hope this helps and can silence the Bill W. listeners of the Monday Morning Podcast. Best of luck in the new year, and all the best to Nia and your lovely daughter, and go fuck yourself. Wow, I might have to fucking download that, whatever, print it out and frame it at framers.net, whatever the fuck those people are. Framebridge. I got to use those guys for that. Wow, that was awesome. That made me feel better about myself. Am I going to drink now? No, I got to go do a set tonight. All right, chef not making enough money. That was really informative, by the way. I definitely went through periods where I was craving it, and didn't want to drink. And then I was just like, this is what I do. And I would just go over and I just, but it felt more like a diet thing. Like late at night, just fucking eat well. Don't go out and go make a fucking grilled cheese sandwich, and then you just go out and do it. But when that first fucking night when you don't do it, then I can stop. So, yeah, I don't think I am. Bill, stop giving examples. The guy left you off the hook.